What's up, YouTube? I'm sharing something special today. I built a game, and it's a puzzle game, which is probably no surprise for those of you who know me. It's called SYMBLE, and the goal is to crack a secret code in order to guess a 5-letter word within 8 tries. Now, it was inspired by Wordle, because I'm sure that concept sounds familiar to you, but it's actually much different gameplay-wise, and in my opinion, it offers more opportunity to be strategic in your gameplay, and it really works your brain quite a bit more. Now, I'm really excited to jump in and show you guys how it works, and hopefully you'll give it a try. You can find it live right now at symbole.app, and there's a link in the description of this video. So there are 3 different ways to play SYMBLE, and here it is, you're looking at it. You can select your game mode from the first icon right up here. Now, there's the daily mode, daily puzzle, where everyone shares the same answer each day. It refreshes at midnight, just like Wordle. This one lets you compare directly to your friends and about how you each did. Next is infinite mode, which is currently selected, as shown by that icon right there. And infinite mode is the most casual way to play. You can play as many SYMBLE puzzles as you like. They'll be random every time. And last is something that I just added today, which is the 5-minute Blitz. I think this is the most fun and the most challenging way to play SYMBLE. And it'll test how many SYMBLE puzzles you can solve on a 5-minute timer. So, let's start off in infinite mode. I don't want to spoil the daily puzzle in this video for anyone. And first, let me show you the basic view of the game. Right, so we've got 8 blank rows here, 1 for each available guess of the secret answer. You will type your guess in these squares, 1 for a 5-letter word for each guess. And when you do, you'll get shown a sequence of 5 symbols, just like that, that will give you clues about the relationship between your guess and the secret answer. And with all that in mind, let's look at the rules, and then we'll play through a game together. You can find the rules up here on the little question mark icon. Okay, so the rules. So as soon as you begin a game, the secret answer is going to be selected in the background, and then additionally, every game of SYMBLE will generate 3 random symbols that you'll see during the game. Now, in this example right here, we only got 2 of the 3 symbols, but if we kept playing, we would eventually see a 3rd one. And each of the symbols means something completely different. Now, when you guess a word in SYMBLE, you'll get shown a sequence of 5 of those symbols, like we just saw, and those symbols are going to be overlaid onto an invisible version of the secret answer, with each symbol corresponding to the invisible letter directly underneath it. So here's an example that explains each of the 3 concepts for each of the 3 symbols that you will get in a particular game. And in this example, we have a guess of thick and an answer of shake. Now, I've shown the answer, shake, over the 5 symbols, but of course, in a real game, you would not see that there. You do not know shake is the answer, and you do not know what any of these symbols mean. But we're going to act like an omniscient game creator here and explain exactly what it means so that we can jump in and play a game ourselves. So, we guessed thick, the answer is shake, we get shown these 5 symbols. So the blue symbols, the blue like D-pads on a game controller, or the plus signs, they mean that the letter that they correspond to in the answer is not present in your guess. So this first symbol corresponds to the S, and it means that there is no S in thick. This one corresponds to the A, there is no A in thick. This one corresponds to E, there is no E in thick. Now in the second position, we get this green infinity sign, and this one corresponds to the H in shake. This symbol in this particular game means that this letter is correct, it is present in your guess, and it is in the right place. So whatever letter goes in the second position is present in thick, and it is in the right place, and that happens to be an H. And lastly, in the 4th position here, we've got a red cubical Pokeball looking thing, and this corresponds to whatever is in the 4th position of the answer, which in this case is a K in shake, and it means that the letter that I'm covering is present in your guess, but not in the correct position, because in thick, we did include a K, but in the wrong place. So those of you who are familiar with Wordle, you may be starting to see some parallels here. There are 3 different symbols, and each of the 3 symbols means the same 3 concepts you'll find in Wordle, except things are a little bit twisted around. These symbols correspond to the letters in the answer, which you do not know. So, when you start a symbol puzzle, you don't know which symbol means which concept, and you don't know the letters corresponding to each symbol in each of your guesses. So, it's up to you to deduce all of that, and eventually arrive at the secret answer yourself. So, I've got a full game example here that you can read through in the rules if you want to convince yourself of all of that. I've got a little explanation about how duplicate letters work. For example, the answer here was shook, which has 2 O's, and I guessed 1 O in solid, how that all works. You can read that stuff on your own if you are interested, but for now, let's dive right into a game and see if we can't solve this one that we started with a couple minutes ago. So I guessed stare, and I have 4 yellow infinities and 1 orange heart. It is generally a pretty safe guess to assume that whatever you end up the most with in your first guess is probably going to mean in a completely incorrect letter, not one that's misplaced and not one that's correct, because that's just most likely what you're going to get. You're most likely going to be mostly wrong on your first guess. So these yellow infinities mean whatever goes in the first, second, fourth, and fifth position of the answer is not present in stare. Now, we don't know what this heart means yet. This heart could mean that this A is correct, meaning there is an A in the third position of the answer. It could also mean that whatever goes in the third position of the answer is present in stare but misplaced. So really, literally any one of these 5 letters could go in the third position. We don't know which is which yet. We'll have to figure out what this heart symbol means. So what I'd like to do in this position is come up with a word that includes an A in it in a different position. So let's see. Let's try... Actually, let's try something with A in the same position. I'm going to guess plank. 4 completely different letters, and also A in the same position. So here's what happened. We lost our heart in the third position. So that means whatever letter is present in the third position, we got a whole bunch more yellow infinities. We can be very confident that yellow infinity means incorrect, since we have so many of them again. Whatever goes in the third position of the answer is not present in plank. So what that means is it's definitely not the A, which means it wasn't the A in stare, which means that the heart that we got means whatever goes in the third position of the answer is present in stare, but misplaced. So something, an S, a T, an R, or an E, goes in the third position. And since we've just revealed our third and final symbol here, we can be reasonably confident that this means a correct letter in the correct place, which would correspond 1-to-1 with the P in plank. So, and L, N, and K are not going to be relevant, and neither is A. So we've got a P in the first position, and we've got S, T, R, and E in the third position. So let's see, what can we do next? Let's try. Now I know that it can only be one of S, T, R, and E, but I'm going to use 2 of them. I'm going to guess posit. Fishing for more vowels, which is good. We're going to keep that P there. And if S gives us one of these blue Pokeball-looking things in the third position, then we know we were right. But if we get a red heart, that means that T was probably the one that should have gone in the third position, because T is misplaced. So let's see. All right, so we have 2 hearts. One of them goes in the third position, which overlaps with the heart in the third position in the first guess. So again, these 2 hearts mean that there is a letter in the corresponding guess that goes in the third position, but it's misplaced. The only letters that are common to both of stare and posit are S and T. If S was correct, we would be getting a blue Pokeball, but we're not. We're getting an orange heart, so it must be T in the third position. And then lastly, we also got a brand new orange heart in the second position, which means something in posit that isn't in the second position right now, misplaced, goes here. It's not P, and because we've already corresponded the P to the first position. It's not O, because that's already in the second position. We would have gotten a blue symbol if it was the O. It's not S, because if it was S, then we would have gotten a heart in the second position in stare as well. And it's not T, because right now we have T corresponding to the third position. So the only thing left is I. So right now, we have PIT as a very, very confident guess for the first three letters. And the very first thing that comes to mind here with two new letters is pitch. Okay, so we were right about PIT. We got our 3 blue Pokeballs, and we have a heart in the fourth position, meaning that there is a letter in pitch that goes in the fourth position that is not currently there. There's only 2 letters that remain to be questioned, and that's C and H. And the only letter that isn't in the fourth position of those is H. So PITH is what we're looking for. And I assume this is kind of an old English word, pithy. I don't really know what that means, but I do recognize it as a word, so that's what we're going to guess. And that's it. That's the answer. The answer was pithy. We got a 5. Ignore my stats. This is for testing. I didn't lose. I haven't only played 4 games of my own game. But we just got a 5, which corresponds to this bar here. You can check all of your stats in your statistics bar. You can click share, which copies a version of the board to your clipboard so that you can paste it in whatever social media you want to share the game. Keeps track of all of your stats, your win rate, your average score, if you have a current streak going on. And then in Blitz mode, it keeps track of a completely separate set of statistics, which is a hard few words to say, that tells you what your personal best is, what's the most number of words you solved, and the average number of guesses it took for you to solve it. My most recent Blitz was my PB. I got 7. I solved 7 symbols within 5 minutes with an average of 5.29 guesses. It's a pretty solid score. If you beat that, definitely let me know in the comments. And the next daily is in 9 hours. Comes out at midnight. It's currently 3 p.m. here. So if this game seems interesting to you, definitely please give it a shot. This is my first attempt at making a game for the general public, and it's been decently well received. We've got 15,000 players so far, which is really cool. Thank you to everyone who has tried it. That's pretty much all I got to say. SYMBLE is really cool. I'm really glad with the way it turned out, and a lot of people are enjoying it. So I hope you will consider becoming one of those people. Give it a try at SYMBLE.app. And see you guys later.